Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
Are we live?
Hell yeah, we are.
Live?
Let me turn this
How
up.
I feel weird that I'm on the right and you're on the left today.
I don't like it.
There. Now I feel at home. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, producer.
You're
Man
welcome.
running the board.
What?
Dude, I didn't even pull up the YouTube page yet. I don't even know. I don't know what I'm doing here.
Well, get yourself settled. We got a long night.
Yes, we do. We have a lot to go over.
We do.
So let me you start the show. Let me just get my stuff in order here.
Yeah. Get settled. Get settled.
Yes.
What is good, everyone? Thank you for tuning in. Jay Hannon to my left.
You're right.
What's that?
Well, technically, it's your right.
You're
I'm
my left.
on your right. You're on my right.
Stage
No,
left.
no, you're on my left.
Well, okay.
Right?
No, wrong. Yeah. So yes, Jay Hannon from Gizmochi, producer extraordinaire. What is up, my man?
Not much. It's a beautiful Wednesday. Two awesome things happened on this date. Number one, obviously, for you and I, or you and me, the Chicago Bears won the Super Bowl, Super Bowl 20, back in January of '86. It was the '85 Bears team, but they won it obviously January of '86.
Correct.
And obviously, anybody that watches this channel knows it's Eddie Van Halen's birthday today. So two awesome things happened on this date in history.
Absolutely. And also bring into metal, it's your boy Matthew Hafey's birthday today. Happy 36, Matthew Hafey.
Okay.
There
Here
you
we
go. So
is that how you say his last name? I've been wrong all these years, huh?
What do you say?
I thought it was Heafy.
Heafy, Heffy, Hafey. So yeah. So anyway, yeah, Eddie Van Halen. Obviously, if you're watching us, EVH is your boy. So Johnny was going to make a cake for tonight's festivities, but he decided not to. He was going to stripe it out, but
so he just wore his striped boxers instead.
There you go. Right, Johnny?
Yeah. No, somebody on Twitch last night told me that I should make a cake or go buy a cake, and I thought about it, but I really don't need it. I really don't need the
calories, the carbs,
the calories and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I celebrated all day long. I mean, Kurt 50 and I were live earlier celebrating, and it's just been a huge celebration over.
And
on
Caleb,
Facebook.
come on, Caleb.
Oh
was
yeah,
on
and
the
Caleb.
show too.
Caleb was here.
And for cripe's sake,
it's been a crazy day.
Yeah.
Well, so if you've been with Johnny all day and you're with us tonight, thank you very much, Jay and I, and Johnny really appreciate it. So thank you.
Yes, thank you, everybody.
Johnny, if you want to get to producers, we got some shit to do. There we go.
Yeah, this might be a long show tonight. We got to get the stuff quick.
So the executive producers of Johnny Beane TV, we have the following: Dave Ennis, Vinyl Freak 5150, Mike Neese, Music Therapy Laz. I saw Laz. You went live today too, right? Majestic Peanut Butter and Jelly Cat, Wayno False Flag, Sherman Callahan, Andy Carson, Michael B. Arhabs, Warlog, Steve Carmichael.
Steve Carmichael.
There you go. Jimmy Ray Hawkins, Joe Christian, Thomas Santiago, Michael Smith,
The captain, everybody, is the captain.
Stephen Franklin,
You
Paul
went out of order.
Martin
You were
Wood,
backwards, and
Forrest.
I got thrown off here.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm going in reverse order because we're going to end with your boy, Paul Martin Woods, Johnny Moronic, James Gum, Lenny Lou, and Mary, and the chat. The man, the chat. So thank you for being executive producers on Johnny Beane TV. Become a channel member. Click the join button. Please do it. If you have no idea how to use YouTube, I don't know what to tell you, but yes, please become a channel member. Also, go to Bookface, like Johnny's page. Link is in the chat. Leave a review. Tell everyone how awesome Jay looks tonight, please. Also, new feature available. Bookface stars. Johnny Q, can you tell everyone about Bookface since I'm not on it?
Facebook stars. It's a digital gift that helps in the production of these shows. It's basically they're basically pennies. It's like a penny a star. That's what they are.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Leave a penny, everyone, please. And connect with Johnny Beane via the WhatsApp. There's the phone number. So please call in, send messages, send pics. Johnny
no
loves
Richard
it.
picks though. Don't send any Richard picks.
No Richard Poole picks. And that's it.
Well, Smitty's ready to rock. We got Symmetry here.
Oh, my man, Symmetry. What is good, my man?
Yes, we will have Kurt. Kurt, I guess not Kurt 5150, but Kurt 2 or Kurt with the C. Well, should be calling in pretty soon to tell me that it's a good thing I'm wearing my hat because he doesn't like for some reason when I don't have the hat on. So
Who the hell's Curtsy?
Kurt C. That's a good one. Kurt C. Hi, Kurt C. But he's been calling in lately, telling me that I have to wear the hat when I'm on here. Says I look too boy bandish when I don't wear the hat. So,
Wow, you look good, man. And those V-necks,
oh, dude, love them.
killing it.
Love them. I think I told you this, and I might have said it on here a couple weeks ago. But after wearing the V-neck for a while, when I wear a regular shirt, it feels like it's on backwards. You know what I mean? You ever put a shirt on backwards accidentally? It's like, damn, the neck is too high, and you notice it instantly. Well, now when I put a regular T-shirt on, which is what a crew neck is, that what a regular?
Yep.
It feels like the neck is too high and it's on backwards. It's tough to get used to. I gotta say. I must say.
Sure. We have a super duper chat from Sherman Callahan. What's up, you guys? What's up, handsome?
Brian, we have I think Sherman Callahan has a boner to pick with both of us.
Uh-oh.
Because he was the one who he was one of the awesome dudes who won the Gizmochi prize pack on Halloween or New Year's. The Halloween prize pack, right?
Oh yeah, and you sent me that, yeah, and I have to send that out. I remember reading it while working, and I'm like, I'll get to that. Wrong, I haven't got to it. So Sherman, if that's you, and I'll look later. I'm sorry. This is 100% on me. Don't pick a boner with Jay. Pick it with me. He sent it
No.
to
How
me.
about we send him
CD?
Well, no, he's getting a CD and a shirt, right? That's the prize pack.
Should we give him a poster?
Yeah, let's throw in a poster and maybe one of the other Gizmochi shirts, which maybe we can get one from Chris.
Okay. Well, I'll see those guys soon since I'll be getting the CDs.
Sherman, what size shirt do you wear? If you could, please put it in the chat. Hopefully we have the right size, but we'll figure it out. Anyway, we don't want to take too long on that. What do we have in store for tonight?
So Wayno says, as part of the episode, please switch them. Boner Jams has to be on the left. It looks ridiculous.
All right, switch it, Johnny. There you go. All right,
Super.
Now we're back. Okay.
All right, there we go. Better, Wayno?
Actually, maybe this is right. Maybe this is the right way.
I don't know.
I don't know.
You
either.
look weird over there.
Whoa, hey now. Look at us, huh?
All right.
That's better. I like that.
All right. I think let's get into it.
All
So
right.
everyone in the chat, first, thank you for coming tonight on your busy Wednesday. Since you're here with us, we have some cool stuff to go over tonight. So let's get right into it. Jay,
Yes.
I forgot what I was going to say. No. What do you want to go over first? What do you want to talk about? What's new and exciting in the world of music? Anything that you want to chat about before we get into?
Well, how about this? Let's
Everything
just say that one of the main topics we're going to discuss tonight, which might take a little bit of
5
time,
hours.
is we're going to go over some of our choices for, for Christ's sake, for heaviest. Is that the bat phone?
Should I get that?
Yeah, why not?
Who is it?
Probably Kurt C.
Curtsy and bow.
Hello, you're on the air.
Johnny.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, this is Kurt with a C.
Hey.
Curtsy, what's
Hey,
up?
are you on the air with Jay?
Yeah.
Okay, because just a second ago he called me out. Well, he didn't call me out, but he brought me up. He said something about he's expecting me to call because he had a hat on, and that I usually
You said hat on,
when he
right?
doesn't have a hat on.
Have a hard on.
Because he does, when he doesn't have a hat on, he looks like Justin Timberlake circa 1991. So
Damn.
That's fine.
Lucky
I had to call it. And he was talking about wearing a V-neck, and he can't wear a regular neck. I completely understand. Yeah,
See?
V-necks are the only way to roll.
V for
make your
vagina,
own
man.
V-necks with a pair of scissors.
Yes.
There you go.
I'm gonna go with a double V neck next time.
So why weren't I was just watching the show? Why weren't you on the screen?
Because this isn't really my show. I produce and direct and I do like all the behind the scenes stuff.
I was gonna say because I heard your voice, but it's like, wait a minute, why isn't he? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can throw on a Slayer shirt and just get on the screen.
I could. I
But we
could, I
call him out
guess.
because we know Johnny doesn't like Slayer.
And
so we
borrow
saw
one
him
of
in a
Jay's
Slayer
hats, put
shirt.
it on backwards with a Slayer shirt. You're in.
I actually could do
Metal
that.
Wednesday.
Okay, let's say
Yeah.
let's say next month.
Done.
Next month, I'll wear a backwards hat, V-neck shirt, and I'll be on.
and get a Sharpie and put Slayer on a white T-shirt. Done.
Okay. All right, you got it, man.
Okay, Johnny.
Kurt, thanks, man.
All right, you're welcome, man.
Okay, see you, man.
All right, bye-bye.
I like how Kurt had nothing to say about me.
No, you're an
Straight-
afterthought, man.
He's like, fuck boner Jim.
You gotta wear a backwards hat. That's what it is. You gotta get a backwards hat. There you go.
He's just not loving my giant forehead. He's like, you know what? We're not even talking about this creature here.
So the main topic for tonight's show, and we love to have people chiming in,
Absolutely.
heaviest songs from the 90s, right? Isn't that what,
Yeah.
right?
So the heaviest metal songs of the 90s, not necessarily the best,
No, not the best.
heavy. On it, this is Metal Wednesday. It's a new episode of 2022. We're gonna go straight balls deep. We're gonna go straight Bang Bro style. First episode of the year.
Oh,
That's what we're doing.
okay.
But also, before we get into that, there's some cool stuff coming out this year. So is there
There is.
anything this year, Jay Hannon, I'm plugging you right here. Is there anything that you may be working on that you can discuss a little bit about something that you're working on that some people might be interested in?
Yeah, I probably should have told you this beforehand, but I got word yesterday. I'm working on mixing the new Byzantine EP that was supposed to come out in the springtime. And the due date for me to hand it in to Byzantine and the label was January 31st. And I got the phone call yesterday and it's being delayed. So I don't have to break my ass. I mean, I still want to get it done because I'm mixing the last song not as we speak, but I'm on the last song. So Yeah, that's kind of a bummer. I was excited for that to come out this spring, but it got pushed back. And anybody that knows anything with the music industry, who knows what's happening.
So since none of us in the chat, I'm pretty sure that none of us here are producers. Can you talk a little bit about why is it a bummer that it's being pushed back? Is there is it from the label? Is it from the band? Talk about it a little bit.
Well, I don't want to give away too much insider information because I don't want to give details because I wasn't told. Hey, go ahead and talk about it. But basically, it's being delayed a little bit for reasons beyond, I guess, the band's control, whatever. But I'm bummed about it because I've been working on it for a little while now, and I kind of work better with a deadline. For a little while, there was no deadline, and I was kind of lollygagging with it. But once I got a deadline, say, hey, January 31st, it's got to be handed in. I started pounding away, and now it's being delayed a little bit. But again, I still want to get it handed in, and it's got some cool stuff on it. I don't want to give away information, but it's an EP. There's 6 songs total. It's gonna be pretty cool. They're redoing some of their older songs that never, old demos before they got signed or whatever, that they never either A, finished, or B, were happy with to put on an album. So they kind of redid some stuff. And then there's a few covers as well, which I think they did a really good job on. So obviously, when we get a release date, I'll let everybody know. And maybe we'll get OJ on here to talk about it when it happens as well.
Oh, snap.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, everybody, we're not talking about albums. We're talking songs. I mean, we could pick albums all day because we got Megatod says Testament the Gathering, which I might have a song from that album on my list. Where did they record it? They recorded it in West Virginia, and then they sent it to me, which is a first because usually the last 3 records I went there to West Virginia, tracked the drums. Well, the last time I tracked virtually everything. The last 2 albums, I tracked everything, and then OJ, the singer, and Brian, the lead guitarist, would come here,
not me, everyone,
to my house,
Mhm.
and we would track lead guitars, acoustic guitars, and vocals. But this one, it's just an EP, so they had a different engineer from West Virginia track everything, and then send it to me. So
when you track the vocals, you're in your studio, right? Mm-hmm. Where shouldn't you do vocals in a compressed setting, in a smaller room? So where would you do it there?
I like being in the same room as the vocalist.
Okay,
it's more of a I don't know. I think Mike Ball's is in the chat right now.
He is.
So he's done both. He's tracked vocals in a separate room from the engineer and producer. And then he's also tracked vocals with me in the same room, behind, we don't have the monitors blaring. We both have headphones on. And I just feel more of a connection with the singer. And you can kind of feed off each other and get energy instead of having somebody in a separate room, even if there is a window between the two of you. But there's more of a connection. And I think, from what I know, as far as hard rock and especially metal nowadays, I think a lot of producers and engineers are having the vocalist in the same room with them, just to kind of get that, back and forth energy, and it's just easier, I think, and cooler to have somebody in the same room as you, kind of, doing it.
So was anyone Corey Taylor style, just cutting themselves with glass and bleeding profusely over the floor? Or
I hope not.
What do you mean? Hope not? You were there.
No. It's funny. Usually, recording vocals is a very different thing than recording anything else, any other instrument, because when somebody's singing, it's them. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So you have to kind of I don't want to say handle somebody with kid gloves, but it's just a different thing. It's their own voice. It's not just a guitar. It's that note you're hitting is weird. Once you try, you can kind of get on somebody if they're playing a part wrong, but if somebody is singing something wrong, or you kind of gotta be careful with how you kind of like, dude, that sucks. Like, what are you singing? What are you doing? You can't do that kind of stuff. You kind of gotta like be gentle and massage the ego a little bit. Like, oh, that was great, but why don't we try? What if we tried something like this, or like just little things like that. So,
Sure.
but
That's cool.
I actually I like recording vocals a lot. I didn't think I would, but when you do it, it's a lot of fun.
What is your favorite part to track?
Oh man.
Anything that
Probably,
gives you the feels in your lower vas deferens. Like what do you enjoy the most?
probably rhythm guitars. Just because like once the drums are tracked, usually once I start tracking drums, I'm like pumped. But then after a few days, like so many things can go wrong with drum tracking, right? Because there's every single drum is mic'd, right? You got the close mics on every drum. The snare's got two. It's got a top and bottom mic. You got the overheads. I mic the hi-hat individually, the china individually, and the ride cymbal individually. So there's all those microphones, right? Something gets bumped, heads get out of tune. They need to be changed. So there's always this constant, like, does that snare drum sound the same as it did yesterday? Sometimes you got to retrack a song. If all of a sudden you're like, oh, son of a bitch, the microphone wasn't, something's wrong, or there's a rattle or something. That happens a lot too, especially with toms. Like you'd be like, dude, what is that rattle going on? Stop it. Stop playing. And you got to figure out what the problem is. You got to go in there. You got to move stuff. So there's so many things that, like, when I start tracking drums, I'm excited. But by the time the end of drum tracking happens, I'm pumped to break them some bitches down and get them out of the studio. Get them out.
Sure.
And then the next thing we do is rhythm guitars. And it's an awesome thing, because the guitar player is sitting literally right next to you in your lap. And I just love working through guitar parts and hearing the song kind of come together with real drums, finally. Because a lot of times, you're hearing these songs with like programmed drums or a drum machine type of thing. So, yeah, rhythm guitars is like, it's fun to track those. It really is.
Awesome.
Yep.
So one production question I had for you is back in the 90s, which we'll probably get into with some of the bands that we'll discuss tonight.
Mm-hmm.
There is, instead of recording digitally, it's analog. So
Yeah.
they get more of a raw sound.
Well, you get that tape saturation and coloration and stuff like that. Yeah, it's like 2-inch tape and stuff. Yep.
Can you do that now with the equipment that you have?
Oh God, no.
No.
Oh God, no. No, not even close.
Just curious.
No, I mean, if I wish I could. It'd be awesome, but I know nowadays, the bigger bands like Slipknot, I know when they track drums to tape and then bass guitar. So the two things that have a lot of the low end, they'll track to 2-inch tape, and obviously they'll transfer that to Pro Tools and track everything else. But I mean, nowadays, like, unless you really have the budget to do something like that, I mean, there's tape emulation plugins. Like I know Slate Digital has what is it? The FG. I forget what their tape plugin is called. It's awesome. I use that stuff as well. But again, if I had the capability to do it and the budget to do it, of course, I would love to do something like that. But also, it's not as quick. With digital, you can loop record. You can it's so easy to go back and forth. Like, oh, punch this one spot in. With tape, when you're tracking, you got to rewind the tape, do it again, rewind the tape. It's very time consuming as well.
That'd be awesome to do.
Oh, it would. I mean, we've tracked to tape before.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, back in the early 2000s? We did a demo, I think 5-song demo to 2-inch tape, and the tape was expensive, and it's even more expensive now.
Is that where you recorded in New Windsor or no?
No, we recorded in the Rocket Silo studio. I forget what town it was. This is even before Mike Balls was in the band. It was the demo we recorded, but right before Mike Balls joined.
Gotcha. That's
So
cool.
it was a long time ago, yeah. So, ooh, what are you sipping on there?
Dinner is a protein shake. I was at the gym before.
Oh, was Peter North filling up the protein shakes tonight?
Definitely.
How many ropes do you want? How many ropes do you want in your shake?
It's delicious. It's got a scoop of peanut butter in there. It's amazing. So, all right.
Yep.
Well, that's cool. Thank you for bringing us into the world of productions.
Yeah. Well, let's do a quick roll call. We don't have many people chatting in the chat. We would love to. We have a question for everybody, this so we can get some people activated, so I can read off some names here.
Yeah. What is everyone looking forward to in 2022? Music.
How about this? I got something easy.
Okay, let's disregard what I said. Yeah, go ahead.
80s metal or 90s metal? Type in 80s or 90s.
90s. Did you see Mancuda and Neanderthal going at it last night between Queensryche and Dokken?
No, I only saw them mention Queensryche and Dokken, and then I had to split.
It was getting testy in there.
Really?
Yeah.
What was the argument?
You just go back and watch it. I don't want to ruin it for you. Just go check it out.
Who did you agree with?
Neither. No. Basically, Neanderthal was saying Dokken is a bigger band than Queensryche.
That's wrong.
And so, yeah, that was basically it. So Mancuda was saying Queensryche.
No, it's the other way around.
Yeah,
Oh,
Queensryche,
it was the other way around.
Queensryche was
It's the other way around.
massive. Queensryche was massive with Empire.
Wait, no, wait, wasn't you sure, Johnny?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
Wait,
woke
what?
up a few times during it and heard that.
But it was getting testy. I liked it. It was good.
Well, I'm gonna have to go back and listen.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Jesus. Hey, Liquid Charlie's here. What's up, man? All right, let me read off some names real quick on a quick roll call, and then we'll get to the task at hand. We got All Dave, All Night, 7 over 8. I'm here. Amanda Coombs, Ashley Moore, Boner Jams. We got Center Hill Cards. Do you sell baseball cards? God, I hope so. Charlie S. for Mark McGuire rookie card. Charlie S. Forrest Malcaza, Gary Bucknoff, Gino Ames, Glenn Allen, Jamie White, Johnny Beane, Kurt 5150, Kai Matthews, Leo Safko, Liquid Charlie, Magic Man, Mega Todd 707, Michael B, Mike Balls, my buddy, my partner in crime, my fellow axeman, right? Whatever. Nightbot, Sherman Callahan, Symmetry, hashtag Smitty. Majestic PB&J Cat is here. Tim Thomas, Vistalite 1972, Warlag, and Wayno. And if anybody else joined between the first name and last name I read, hi.
What up? And if you're watching and you're not chiming in, please chime in. We want to hear from you.
Yeah,
You specifically. I'm looking at you right now.
that's
So,
right. Sons of bitches.
There we go. All right. Let's get to it. We have a lot of stuff to do, but let's start with the top 10 heaviest jams of the 90s.
Shit, I might have more than 10, but okay.
Dude, I have a lot.
Well, we can start ripping them off. We don't have to like really get into the meat and potatoes of why or when or how or whatever, unless there is a couple songs or there are a couple songs that you do want to, discuss.
No, I have an order that it took me days to compile and to perfect. So don't mess with my order, Jay.
I won't mess with your order. Mine's not in order. Because I threw mine together like I throw everything together. So yeah. I have a few on here that I'm sure a couple people will be like, who and what?
And that's good because we
Yeah.
want to educate people and learn, and we want to learn from each other. So go ahead. So you don't have it like in order, right? You just have songs.
Yeah, I took screenshots of my Spotify on my phone of the songs.
Okay. So why don't you
I'll start it off.
do it? Let's do it.
You want me to start off with with a song that everybody be like, okay, yeah, of course, right?
Let's do it. Yes, go ahead.
All right, let's go with See, I have 2 songs from this album. I only want 1. All right, I'm gonna start easy, right? I have a few songs from this band, and I'll go first. It's gonna be Domination from Pantera, Cowboys from Hell.
How do you put that? Like, your first song that you say is probably arguably the heaviest song. You son of a bitch.
Well, because it was 1990, right? This album came out.
Yes, it was. Mhm.
Yeah, so I mean, what a great pow! What a great first song to bring it in,
Absolutely.
to say, hey, we're not messing around. We mean we mean business.
I love watching the video. Them, like, it's a live video. It's in Moscow,
Yep.
and Dime is just filthy. That the breakdown in the middle of this song is epic.
Yeah.
Right. I don't care who you are. You can just despise metal, and it's like, oh, this is too heavy. When that part comes on, you're bouncing your head.
And I always loved how they would slow that part down a little bit live. It's pull it back a little bit even slower than the album. It's like jin 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 jin. It's like hell yeah, man.
Hell yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah,
And
there's
that
certain
song, and
parts
also
certain parts like that live need to
Mhm.
be pulled back, and other parts need to be pushed up. But yeah,
sure. Well, that, and also like This Love, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that the heaviest 2-note riff of all time.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, and then they do it
Dun,
live, and they go real slow with that. And that's gives me
Yeah.
the tingles and the jingles.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the Vulgar video. And also, I believe that was on. I've mentioned this before. I think I used to be I used to subscribe to. Oh, what the frig was it called, man? Metal Monthly Video, I think it was called. So every month you'd get like a VCR or a VHS tape mailed to you with, some new bands that maybe you never heard of, music videos. And a couple times it was one time it was Pantera. That video was on there, and then there was another one with Pantera and Skid Row doing like Cold Gin together when they toured together.
Mhm.
Another one was like Dream Theater Live. That's how I found out about Candlebox, was from that. And Galactic Cowboys, that's how I found out about them. That was a cool thing. And then I don't even think I ended my subscription. I think like it
Went out of business.
yeah, like nobody. It probably cost so much for them to mail out these VHS tapes.
Sure.
Like shit.
Sure. Remember with those tapes, Korn had like Who Then and Now.
Who
Remember
then
that?
now, bitches? Yep. We used to watch that religiously. Yep.
Mm-hmm. I was pumped, like coming home from school, just like so excited to come home and watch the videos. It was great.
All right. What do you
right.
got? What's your first song?
So number 10 for me, I have Holy Wars by Megadeth.
We got doubles.
I love that's one arguably my favorite Megadeth song. It's just, that song's heavy as hell.
Mhm.
It's just great song. I don't have to explain it. Everyone knows that song. It's amazing. So yeah,
it's hard to play as well.
it is.
Like Dave Mustaine on that album was not messing around when
No.
he was writing that album.
Right. So
Not at
yeah,
all. And that album has arguably the greatest heavy metal solo on it, which is from Tornado of Souls.
Tornado of Souls, yeah.
Yep.
But I think, and we've talked about it before, I think this is where Megadeth started to find their groove with Rust in Peace.
Oh yeah, it's their first. In my opinion, it's their first like
quality album.
Yeah, it's like they like you said, they hit their groove. That's where they found their sound.
Yeah.
And Dave Mustaine's voice wasn't as raw anymore. I mean,
Mhm.
he always had a very unique voice,
Sure.
but now it was like you could listen to it and it didn't. I said I don't want to get say anything weird here, but like that album to me is like this is Megadeth.
Sure. Who produced that album?
Oh, well, I'll look it up right now. He's a oh shit. Who
Is it
the
also
hell
the same producer that did Extinction as well?
Yeah, I believe so. Let me just look real quick. I'll check. Because I mean, you can't get different as far as sound either. Like production wise,
Sure.
the sound of those two albums is really different as well. But hold on, let's see. I don't want to play something on here. Hold on.
As you're pulling it up, my mom's in the chat. What's up, Mom? And
Hey,
real
Mom.
quick, my mom was a little under the weather for I don't know 7 weeks. It feels like, and she's doing a lot better. So everyone in the chat, if you can, say hi to my mom. She's feeling
Hello
better.
there.
And then JJ's House of Boner Jams. What's up, man? Nice to see you.
Oh
Hope
snap!
to
Hey
see your
JJ,
name. So.
fellow Ibanez fan. It's Mike Klink is the one who produced it. Max Norman produced the next handful.
Okay.
Crap! For some reason, I thought, yeah, Mike Klink. There you go, Kurt 5150. But I mean, whereas Rust in Peace is arguably the greatest thrash metal album of all time, it gets thrown up there with like Master of Puppets. Like those two always get put together, like head to head, as which one is the greatest thrash metal record. But I personally prefer Countdown, just because of the production, the songs.
Mhm.
It's a different listening thing. Like with Rust in Peace, it's just go, and it's obviously amazing. I'm not saying that I don't like it at all. I
Sure.
love it, but I'm saying if I had to pick my favorite Megadeth album, it would be Rust in Peace. Or I'm sorry, Countdown to Extinction.
Countdown.
Jesus,
Yep.
all right. Countdown to Extinction.
Gotcha.
Because I think that's Megadeth's sound. Is that album sonically?
Agreed. 100%.
Yep.
All right, so yeah, number 10. There we go. Holy Wars, Megadeth. And I'm gonna go number 9. You ready?
Yeah.
I said, are you ready?
Oh, I know what that is then.
Number 9 is Zombie Prescription by Snapcase.
Oh snap! We're already digging in the
Oh,
whatever.
snap! It's Snapcase.
Mm-hmm.
Back in mid to late 90s, a bunch of friends of mine listened to a lot of hardcore punk, different stuff, and I always gravitated to Snapcase. They're awesome. They're really cool. So Zombie Prescription, that's I don't even know if there's a chorus to that song. If the chorus is, I think, is that dope ass riff. You've heard that song before, right?
I don't know.
Why don't you put it on?
Yes, I'm sure I have. Remember, Gilmore let me borrow his Snapcase CD, so that's probably on it.
Plus, I love the production of
Mhm.
that album, and the snare sounds so good.
Yes. Yep.
It's raw. Like I think that's one thing about the 90s compared to now that I think is lacking is I think bass, not bass, like drum. I don't know, say drum tone is that if that's a proper word, but like the snare sounds so good, or like old school Korn stuff.
Yep.
Amazing. So.
Yep.
But yeah, so number 9, Zombie Prescription, Snapcase. If you have not listened to it, check it out. Check it out after the show. Don't listen to it right now.
Yep. All right, I'm gonna pull one out of the hat right here that
Do
I just
it.
remembered. We're gonna go a little bit of Albany, New York band.
One King Down?
Albany, nope, not One King Down, even though that is a great one. Section 8.
Oh, what
Let's go with
song?
a little De Omega, the last song on 9 Ways to Say I Love You.
Oh, I don't know that song.
I wish. I actually, it's funny. I actually commented on one of their posts last week and said, "Dude, you get your shit up on Spotify," and it's not. Drives me nuts.
What song is it?
De Omega, DE. It's on. I'm sure it's on YouTube. But it's awesome.
I don't know. I'll check it out later.
Yeah. Section 8, De Omega.
Did they come out with an album called Satanic Banana?
I don't think so.
I hope not. Because I looked at Section 8 on Apple.
Here's the album cover.
Oh, it's so nice. He's holding roses. Valentine's Day is right around the corner, guys.
Yep.
The worst
Section
holiday
8,
of the year.
nine ways to say I love you. It's awesome. This album is killer.
That's cool.
Killer. Yeah. So go ahead. What do you got?
Ah, I know there's. Never mind. Yeah. All right. So number 8 for me. I have 2 songs because I couldn't pick between these two. So I'm gonna go with Soundgarden, Slaves and Bulldozers, and Rusty Cage. So those 2 songs are super heavy, especially Rusty Cage. Last week, I think I sent to you guys the tuning of that song.
Yeah.
Right? You see, it's like standard tuning, but instead of E, it's a B. It is weird. So I don't know. I just was listening to it and I learned how to play that song. And man, that song is fun as hell to play. Like halfway through to the end, like, you know, the outro, that oh, so good. So that and Slaves and Bulldozers. When I was younger, I remember that song was like the heaviest thing I ever heard. You know, so I'm gonna go with those 2.
Satanic Banana. How about the Satanic Butt Slayers? You ever hear of those guys?
No. Satanic Butt Slayers?
Yeah.
Where are they from?
I have no idea. They were one of those bands during the it might have been the IUMA days, the IUMA, whatever website days, where they had something like basically you just ask them and they'll send you their CD. So I got like their CD for free. And you know, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't like metal or anything, even though it sounded like it would have been metal. All right, I'm gonna rip off 2 songs because I got a few here.
Okay.
How about now? This album sonically is one of my favorite sounding metal albums of all time.
Okay.
Burn My Eyes is the record from Machine Head, and the song track 1, Davidian. The opening drum fill, the harmonics, oh yeah, and I believe they used the 5150 amps for that record. I'm almost positive that they did.
You son of a bitch, because I have Davidian on here too.
Of course, of course.
The best part of that song, though, is the outro.
Oh, yeah. Another one of those.
Same
thing when they play that one live, they pull it back.
Hell yeah.
It's the shit, man.
They pull it back. I pull it back in my pants. Like, that part is so good.
They pull back. I pull out. Yep. Or they pull it back. I pull it out. Never mind. Anyway.
No, but that outro, so good. It's so heavy. It's perfect. It really is. I love it. So yeah, I have Davidian on there as well. So
all right, let me go again.
All right, you go ahead. Keep going. I love it.
Let's see. What should I go here? I'll remove that one so I don't do doubles. All right, this is easy. Easy for me. Future Breed Machine from Meshuggah. I know you have it on your list too. You got to, right?
Nah, fuck Meshuggah. Yeah, of course I do.
So, a little backstory on Meshuggah with me, right? The first time I heard Meshuggah, it's from the Gizmachi drummer Jimmy. I forget who showed him the band.
AKA your brother-in-law.
My brother-in-law / one of my best friends. He brought me out to my car one night to show me Meshuggah. So we're in my car listening. And the first time I heard it, I was like, dude, it sounds like everybody is playing a different song at the same time. And the drums, somebody's kicking the drums down the stairs. Like, I didn't get it. I had no idea what was happening. And this was probably about 97, I'm thinking it was. The album came out in 95.
Yes.
So I really wasn't that big of a fan until he went out and got Chaos Fear in 98 when it came out.
Right.
And then, you know, him and I in the car all the time together. He's listening to it. And I still remember like one of those days when it just started clicking, and I was like, "Oh my god, I know what they're doing." I was starting to hear the polyrhythms, and Meshuggah is one of those bands. Korn is the band obviously that got me into playing a 7-string
Yep.
and starting to play heavier music. But once I got into Meshuggah, is when like the progressive side of my guitar playing and writing started to come out. And now it's even to this day, it's hard for me not to write a riff in an odd time, an odd time signature. It's kind of tough for me to write in 4/4 anymore, even though a lot of the Meshuggah stuff is in 4/4, but it's just the polyrhythm stuff where, the drums will be 4/4, the guitars will be 6/8 or whatever over top. And then, every bar, the stuff's lining up and flipping over. But they're really the band that changed again, how I played guitar and how I kind of constructed riffs and kind of attacked the guitar almost like more percussive,
Sure.
Almost like drums on a guitar,
Yep. So speaking of Meshuggah, in April, they're dropping their new album, Immutable. What we haven't heard anything yet from it, but
Well, we heard that clip.
which was terrible.
Yeah, well, I wasn't a fan of it at all. I thought sonically it sounded like fake ass drums with real.
I didn't think it was real.
I didn't think it was real either. Like supposedly, I remember when you sent that to the band, we were all thinking like, that's not them. That's fake. We didn't think it was them at all. And then I think a week or 10 days later, they officially released that clip on YouTube or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. We read that review, right? I sent you guys the article of
Yeah,
the review. So hopefully, one, they release a song pretty soon, because how do you release a statement like, "Oh, we're dropping an album"? Can we hear something? Nah. Like, come on. Like, it
dude,
should go inside.
Meshuggah is one of those bands that literally can do whatever they want. As far as putting things out. It's not like it's the 80s or 90s anymore where things have to go a certain way.
Sure.
Meshuggah has their audience, and they're going to buy it regardless, and they're going to listen to it regardless, and they're going to like
it. I really hope it's better than our last album. I think, to me, out of every Meshuggah album, I wouldn't say it's bad, but it wasn't up to par compared to everything else they've done.
I agree.
So
I 100% agree.
Yeah. I hope really they step up their game. I really did like Kolos a lot, and I think there's some really good songs off it. But I think Obzen was the album before that, and that was a really good album.
Yeah, Obzen is really good.
But the last album wasn't like there were some parts. Like, don't get me wrong, there was some cool stuff to it, but it was just, I don't know. It just, I don't know what the word is.
Monotonous.
Yeah.
That's the perfect way to describe that album, in my opinion. Obviously, I love Meshuggah, one of my favorite bands, but I felt like that album, when you listen to it in its entirety, it's almost like one huge song that, like, it just sounds like one long, drawn out song, as opposed to like, they did a song years ago, which was a 20-minute or 22-minute song, but it went through different phases and had different things that happened.
Sure. Yep.
Whereas, like I said, the Violent Sleep of Reason, was that the name of the album?
The last one, yeah.
Yeah, it didn't have enough changes for me. It didn't go different places. It was kind of like just the whole way through. And I kind of got bored of it very fast, which usually a Meshuggah record is one of those bands that, like, the more you listen to it, you're like, oh, okay. But this one,
yeah. I think what was boring about it was honestly the guitars. Too many single notes, and it was just too long of, like, the bars. Like, oh, we're gonna play this for 2 minutes. It's like, why?
Yeah.
So some of the songs could have been shorter. I don't know. Well, let's be positive. This album's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, we can't base an album off one 20-something second clip. Supposedly they're using 7 strings as well now again,
Good.
which I think there was a track or two off of Colas, however you say it,
Mhm.
that they used the 7 strings on. But I kind of felt like once they hit the 8 string stuff, that's to me when it kind of got a little too like they started to slow everything down and kind of get into that groove, and they really haven't got out of it yet. I need a
Sure.
little more aggression and intensity and speed,
Yep.
back in Meshuggah.
Agreed.
But
Agreed.
Yeah.
And so we'll see.
and again, I think I'm guilty of this. And did I talk about it on this show, or did I talk about it recently? About I think Meshuggah is one of those bands that, I'm so in love with their earlier stuff, and it's so great. And it's a huge part of the musician that I am now, where I compare all the new stuff to that, and it's not fair. These guys aren't in their 20s anymore. I think they're all in their like mid or early to mid 50s, I think.
Yeah,
Right?
late 40s, early 50s. Yep.
Yeah. So it's hard to write that kind of stuff and play that kind of stuff when as you get older. It's just it's a different thing.
Sure. So, we'll see. Hopefully, it's great.
Yeah, I hope so.
'Cause that article we read, the guy loved it. He was like, "It's amazing, such a good album." So,
Yeah, but who knows?
true. It's like me writing a Slipknot review. Best album.
Yeah, before you even
ever.
listen to it, you're already writing it. Best thing I've ever heard. Okay, you can press
Ever.
play. Go ahead.
Had to
Article's
change,
done. Article's done. I don't even have to hear it.
had to change my speedo 4 times during, so. All right. So you had Future Breed Machine, right?
Yep.
You have another jam for us?
I'll just go Meshuggah again. How about that? Off
You
of Chaos Sphere, which I mentioned a few minutes ago. New Millennium Cyanide Christ. Now this song has some of the signature Meshuggah, things about it. It's just, it has obviously it's got some just groovy, the opening riff alone. And the whole, drums are going straight, right? The hands are just 4/4. But the kicks are doing the same pattern as the guitars. And then the outro riff, right?
Mhm.
It's just there's so many
Right.
signature, and then the screams also. Jens Kidman with some of his screams of the yells, the on-key yells that he used to do back then. It's just a great song. Such a great song.
Is Balls in the chat? I want one day have Balls talk to everyone about when he first met Jens Kidman.
Oh,
That's
that's
one of
a
my
great
favorite
story.
stories.
I mean, I've told it before. Do you want me to tell it?
If Balls is here, yeah, I want you to tell it. So yeah, everyone in the chat, let me set it up real quick for you, Jay. You guys are on tour in Europe, right?
Mhm.
And you were it was a festival.
Either Rock Am Ring or whatever, one of those rock something rings, one of those.
So you're in Germany then, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you guys are at a festival. You're playing, you're on a bill with Meshuggah.
Mhm.
And I think you're also, I forgot what other bands, but
Oh,
wasn't Soilwork there too?
Lamb of God,
Uh-huh.
Shadows Fall. And there was a bunch of like other My Chemical Romance. Yeah. No, I know. Jimmy and I wanted to beat up their singer, but we're not fighters, so we didn't do it. We should have, but we didn't. He's an asshole.
Really?
Oh yeah. We were because the one show there was the layout was weird, but there was like an inside, kind of like a mini hockey arena type of layout inside, right?
Mhm.
Where like they had a couple sections, like maybe 2 sections in that arena where they had stages set up, right? So one band could go and play, the other band was setting up, so there was like no waiting time, right? So band A would go, and as soon as they're done, the next show would start, and back and forth. And then the bigger bands were playing outside on this huge stage, huge opened up thing, right?
Sure.
So obviously Meshuggah's playing out there, and it was awesome. We were playing inside. So after our show was over, me and Jimmy are hanging out, and one of the bathrooms was obviously upstairs in this arena. So Jimmy and I walk up to go to the bathroom, and when we're walking in, Jimmy remembers the story better than I do, but the singer from My Chemical Romance, I think, was walking in after us. So either me or Jimmy held the door open for him, right? Well, he
And
didn't
he
say
pushed
thank you.
you. He's like, "You better hold the door for me, mother."
He didn't say, and it's not like it was mobbed up there. There was nobody up there. Like the only way you could get up there was with a band pass, you know,
Sure.
or a work or whatever the hell.
Right.
So now I'm getting pissed because you know it pisses me off when people don't do that. So one of us held the door open for him.
Yep.
He didn't say thank you.
Oh.
So he walks in, and he's in there. He's checking his eye stuff, whatever he's got on his stupid face. So Jimmy and I piss. And we walk out, and both of us are like, "What an asshole!" Right? So I
Right.
think Jimmy goes, "Dude, we should go back in there and kick the shit out." He's like, "Nobody's up here. Let's go in and kick the shit out of him for doing that." And I'm like, "Jimmy, of all people, wants to go pound this dude, right?" So we literally had the conversation for about 30 seconds. Like, should we do it? We're like standing outside of the bathroom. You want to go back in?
Man, I'm
And-
in great publicity.
Well, part of my thinking, I don't want to beat anybody up. I'm not that kind of person, right? But part of me was thinking that would be good publicity. Gizmachi, guitarist and drummer, beat up My Chemical Romance singer in bathroom and whatever. But also, I'm like, we're in another country, right? God forbid we get arrested. Are we going home?
Man, it would have been awesome. I would have bailed you out.
I'm just saying, you're in a different country, man.
Sure.
And again, I'm not a tough guy. That's the last thing I would ever insinuate to anybody. But when people don't do the common courtesy thank you when you hold the door open for them,
Mhm.
that gets me going nuts, man. I lose my mind over stuff like that.
Dude, I understand.
Yeah. So now we have a fun story to tell everybody. How me and Jimmy bitched out.
That's
My
great.
Chemical Romance with his tight
Yeah.
pants,
And his face. That face.
and his makeup on his eyes. God.
Did you want to tell the story also about Mike Balls?
Oh my God. All right. Yes. So after that show was over, this is the same day. So after the whole gig was done, they had this area, this huge tent set up that only, again, people or VIPs, band members or VIPs or crew could get into this thing. It was an area set up just for the bands and their crews and stuff like that.
Right.
Right. So anyway, we're all hanging out. We're hanging out with the Shadows Fall dudes. Gilmore's getting blasted. We're just having a huge ball, right?
Sure.
So anyway, a couple of the guys from Meshuggah come down, and we always got along with the drummer Thomas and the one guitar player Martin Hagstrom. They're always cool, right? Jens comes down, and again, it's not like this is a bunch of fans. This is bands and stuff like that.
Sure.
So he comes down, and I guess he's standing at the bar or something. Mike Balls go, and now we played with Meshuggah back in New York in Poughkeepsie a few years prior, and like a couple of days before that, we had lunch with those guys, but Jens wasn't with them, so I'll give him that. So Balls walks up to Jens and goes, "Hey man, I'm a huge fan of your band," and Jens goes, "Fuck that," and walks away from him. Now, if this was any other band, we would have been like, wow, screw those guys. But it was Meshuggah. It was like, hell yeah, man, that's awesome. Like, that's cool as hell that he did that. So,
What was Mike's response to that? Like, I would have been crushed.
I think he just stood there and was like, wow. He didn't say anything. Mike's not a guy that's going to be like, what? He's not a confrontational dude, So he just kind of like just walked away. And I remember him like kind of walking over to us like a puppy with his tail between his legs, like, Jens came and just told me to.
That's great. That's an awesome story.
That's a fun story. I like that one, But again, if it was anybody else, like from a different band that maybe we weren't like huge fans of, but when it's Meshuggah, it's like, hell yeah, that's kind of cool that he did that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sherman Callahan.
Hey now.
I hope you're enjoying story time with Jay Hannon here. This is great.
Yeah, we got to get back to the good stuff though.
No, that's a great story. Those are both great stories, especially Jimmy, who's one of the nicest human beings I've ever met.
Yes.
Super. And does this is say that? That's
Yep.
I like him a little more now.
I know. I would love, how you can go back and like look at things like, I wonder what would have happened if we did that. That's one of those moments where sometimes I'll look back and be like, man, I would love to see the timeline. Like Doc Brown's writing out here's the reality that we're in now. The time whatever we're in now. Here's the alternate reality. What would have, if we did this, time would have changed, like what would have happened?
Sure. Gizmachi in the multiverse.
Yeah. If we beat his ass up there in that bathroom and left him there.
That's awesome.
He comes down crying. There they are. Those who did it.
That'd been great. Watch him like smoke you guys too. Like he was like a black belt in Taekwondo. Just absolute like monstrosity. Would have been great. So everyone, if you're real quick watching this, you're enjoying it, please hit the thumbs up, not the thumbs down, thumbs up, please.
Well, yeah,
and again, thanks for being here tonight. So
like, subscribe, do all that good stuff.
Yes, please.
Yep.
All right, back to me. It's boner time.
Boner time.
So number 7 for me on the top 10 heaviest jams of the 90s. Wish by 9 Inch Nails.
Wow,
Broken.
you're picking at 9 Inch Nails, huh?
Yeah, that song is sick.
Good night, Jeff.
Good. And plus that video. So when I was a kid watching that video.
I'm listening to you. I'll be right back.
All right. So I don't know if anyone has seen the Wish video back from, I think it was 92. But 9 Inch Nails are playing in a cage and just craze fans are going nuts outside. So at the end of the video, each member of the band is like taken away by one of these rowdy fans. It's kind of like Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome type of feel. It's sick. It's such a good song, good video. It's just super aggressive, and 12-year-old boner jams was just like, what is going on? So it was really good. Plus, I think that's the only song that won a Grammy that says fist fuck in it. So, kudos to Trent Reznor with those amazing lyrics. So, again, number 7, Wish, 9 Inch Nails. If you haven't listened to it, check it out. It's really guitar driven. It's definitely industrial, but it's more guitar driven than keyboard driven. So, if you're not a fan of 9 Inch Nails because of that, check out Broken. It's really good. Happiness and Slavery, some really good stuff. Yes, Ashley, Hurt by 9 Inch Nails, but that's off of the Downward Spiral, and that's not very heavy. But the very end is pretty cool, and it's a great song. So, all right. Number 7, Wish, 9 Inch Nails. Number 6 is a song that Jay just said, Davidian by Machine Head. Hell yeah. We already talked about that, so I'm not going to go into but great song. So I have 3 6s, 666. So my other number 6, Jay, I don't know how you feel about this song, but 43% Burnt by Dillinger Escape Plan.
Dude, that was the next one I was going to mention. You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch.
Yo, that's
no way he's going to have this one in there. No way.
Dude, I love that song.
It's awesome.
That song is the shit. That was with the old singer too. So
and the old drummer, Chris Penny.
Correct.
Awesome drummer.
Real cool. Isn't it Calculating Infinity, that album?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty cool. Song is heavy as hell. But I think they're also, if I'm not mistaken, I remember learning that song a long time ago.
Good luck.
It's just weird. Like, you could play the chords, but to get the timing is real difficult.
There's a lot of stuff in that song. You're like, what the frig, man?
But yeah, check that song out, guys. If you haven't listened to it yet, 43% Burt by Dillinger Escape Plan.
I have a funny story about Dillinger Escape Plan, if you don't mind.
I don't. Tell us.
We went to the Birch Hill in New Jersey to see Dillinger Escape Plan. Trying to think what year this would have been. Obviously, it's before the Starland Ballroom because the Birch Hill got torn down or whatever. So I don't know, 2000, let's just say, hypothetically, 99, 2000, something like that.
Sure.
Maybe a couple years later, whatever. Regardless. So what happened was we go to the show. Next thing you know, we're hearing that Dillinger's drummer isn't here yet. Right? I'm like, what the hell is going on? Now, again, I mentioned before, Chris Penny, who I think ended up playing drums with who's the Coheed and Cambria or something like that.
Mhm.
I think he ended up getting recruited by those guys. But Leo Safko said Birchill, he used to work security there. Dude, did you work there when Dillinger played there and they almost burned the ceiling or something like that? So the last song of the set, right? Well, first, let me get to this. So now all of a sudden, Dillinger's supposed to be going on. Drummer's not here, right? We find out that Chris Penny, the drummer, I guess he had a job. His boss wouldn't let him leave work, or he had to stay late, or something happened, right?
Was he working at KFC?
And I remember, I don't know, probably some pizza joint or something.
Sure.
So I remember me and Jimmy going, "Does his boss know who he is? Because we're the best drummers in effing metal."
Right.
And he won't let him leave to go to his show. We were like going nuts, right? So anyway, he finally gets there. He's late or whatever, and they were awesome, right? So the last song of the set, the one guitarist gets on. I'm trying to think who it was, but this huge. I don't know if he was like one of the band's friends / security guards or something. Huge dude, right? So the guitarist gets on his shoulders, and they're doing the last song, right? And they're going nuts, and something happened with like the dude that the guitar player was on his shoulders was blowing like fireballs, right? So the fire goes up and like almost burns the guitar player. And I remember him like punching him or something. And like, but the ceiling was like, I was like, they're going to burn the fucking place down before it even gets torn down, right? It was nuts. It was an awesome show, but I just remember two things about it. That with the fireball, with the guitarist getting burnt slightly, I don't think he got burnt, but he got hot, heated up from it.
Oh, was it Ben Weinman or the other guy?
I don't remember. I didn't know their names. The only person's name I knew, even to this day, is Chris Penny, because he was such a phenomenal drummer.
Sure.
And then obviously Chris Penny almost not making it in time because his stupid boss didn't know who he was. So yeah.
Didn't even know who he was.
I know. Stupid.
That's cool.
Yep.
All right. So I'm going to go to my third 666 song. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
You ready? Bury Me in Smoke by Down.
Phil Beach and Selmo, bury me in smoke.
Hell yeah. That song is the shit. You know that song, right?
No, I'm sure I do. Maybe.
You want me to play the song for you? I'll get my guitar.
Leo Safko says, I think I remember the fire. Also, a knife fight in the dressing room with Grip Inc. Also hung with Geezer Butler and Adrian Smith in the parking lot after a show one night. Fun time. That was a cool place. And we played there a bunch of times too. With 40 Below Summer. Who was the one band? Man, I can't remember their goddamn name. But they had a great drummer as well, this one band. I can't remember their name. Anyway. Yeah.
Cool.
He got 43% burnt. Dude, I just remember the fireball going up and it hit because the roof or the ceiling was kind of low. The guitar player's head was like this close to the ceiling. It was crazy. And I just remember looking down like, you crazy? Oh man.
That's awesome. So yeah, my last of the sixes, Bury Me in Smoke Down. That's off of NOLA, the side project of Phil Bates Anselmo, Kirk Winstein from Crowbar.
We had him on the show a couple years ago. He was awesome.
Super cool dude.
Couldn't be a nicer guy.
Yeah. I was fanning out hard. I was like sending you a million messages. I'm like, Jay, ask him this. Jay, send him this.
Jay, ask him you could suck his. No.
So there we go. All right. So those are mine. So next, you go.
Should I go? Should I give you a band that we all know about and love, or should I give you something a little deeper?
Let's get deep. Give me some deep penetration. Go ahead.
All right. How about this one?
Okay.
Since we're talking about New Jersey / New York / all those bands back then,
Mm-hmm.
how about a little bit of
Candiria.
Candiria?
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
I love when you put your phone onto the camera on YouTube. It's my favorite.
Yeah, I know. Well,
Faction.
anyway, it's Faction from Candiria off of Beyond Reasonable Doubt. Kick-ass song. Another band with a drummer that's just beyond, skill.
Sure.
Yeah, cool dudes as well. Yeah, but that song is killer. Great album as well, and definitely check that out.
That's cool. Do you guys in the band talk with anyone from Candiria still, or no?
I don't know. Jimmy might still talk over Messenger or something with what's the drummer's name? Kenneth Schalk, I think is his name. He was cool. But just again, one of those drummers that was so good that when you watch them, you just want to watch him be like, how the hell, man? I think there's a part in that song, or is it a different song, that he had this drum part, and you're like, what is he doing? And I think Jimmy asked him to explain it one time. Like, dude, what are you doing on that one part? He's got like the ride cymbal and it's dragging and the snare and it's just weird stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah. All right, I'll go again.
Do it.
All right, this one I'll give a how about a little Death, right? A little Scavenger of Human Sorrow, off of The Sound of Perseverance album cover. Jeannie's got the shirt with this album on it, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Richard Christie on drums, if anybody is a fan of the Stern Show. One of my, and I've mentioned this before, Brian, right? This is one of my favorite drum albums. Like if I'm in the mood to hear drums and stuff that's like, whoa, what the hell's going on? It's Sound of Perseverance from Death. It's just, Richard Christie is just, he's adding in so many notes and accents everywhere, but it's still musical.
Sure.
Usually I don't like that type of stuff when somebody overplays, but he's overplaying, but it's not really overplaying because it's awesome. It's tasteful stuff.
What year did it come out?
I believe 98.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't know much from Death, but
I don't know much, but I know that album's awesome.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
My turn. So you had two. So I'm going to go with my number 5. It's from a little band called Slipknot.
Oh.
And I couldn't pick just one. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 from the 90s. I have Sick, Eyeless, Scissors, Eeyore, and Get This. So obviously the first Slipknot album opens up with all the the song that has all the numbers, and the whole thing I think is sick.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes from that right into Sick, and that song is brutal. Then it goes right into Eyeless, and then it has that dope ass boom part in the middle.
Yep.
And then
boom. Yep.
I'll never forget, and I've talked about this before, but the first time I heard that, I had goosebumps. Like it was, I don't know. I'll never forget that feeling. It was awesome.
Well, you know why, right? The way I always kind of compared it was, we were obviously fans of Korn from back then, and obviously the same producer, right? And sonically, obviously it doesn't sound the same, but there are a lot of similarities between that first Slipknot record and the first 2 Korn records, done in the same studio, same producer, blah blah blah.
Okay.
But I still remember when I first heard that first Slipknot record, the first thing I thought was like, this is Korn on steroids.
Yeah.
Like just add the speed, and it was just intense.
Sure.
And from the moment I heard that shit kick in, dun, 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 the hi-hat, but the kick drums going, I was like, I'm going to get this album right now. Like we're not waiting. I'm going to get it.
Yep.
And that was it. You know.
Yeah. It was just definitely Corn on steroids. And then so Sick, Eyeless, and then the last song.
I got an itch on my nose.
All right.
It wasn't a pick. It was a scratch.
It's Scissors. That song is brutal. You know what song that is?
No.
It's like it begins a little slower, but then it gets
What
like
album?
super. It's the first album.
Oh, okay.
The only album came out in the 90s. Yep. And that's I don't just listen to it. It's Corey's vocals are super aggressive. It's man, I wish I was there. I would have killed just to sit in the studio and just watch him record that. Like you know he's crying. Like it's just guttural, like coming from the soul, you know. And I guarantee he's crying his eyes out. It's awesome. So that, and then there's 2 bonus tracks on that album. Get This, which Slipknot will do live from time to time. Like they'll throw it in because it's a pretty quick song, super heavy. Get This, and then Eeyore. Awesome.
Eeyore?
What's
that?
that?
Eeyore or Eeyore?
It's Eeyore, like like Winnie the Pooh, Christopher Robins, and Eeyore. Yeah, Eeyore.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I thought it was called Eeyore.
No,
I know Eeyore is Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh.
Right.
I don't know. Whatever.
But yeah, super heavy. So I couldn't pick one Slipknot song, so I had to go with 5.
I couldn't pick one nostril, so I picked them both.
There you go. So, all right, that was my number 5. You go ahead, Jay.
Okay.
Give us one.
Well, let me get that out of the way so I don't. All right, let's do something that I guarantee is not on your list or anybody's list in here.
Okay.
You ever hear of a little band named Entombed?
Yeah.
And a song called I Master?
No. Thigh Master? Like that? Like
Thigh Master. I Master.
Oh, I Master. Oh.
From Entombed.
Love the Thigh Master.
Wolverine Blues is the record or album. That song's killer. Song's killer. This cool drum fill is in it that Jimmy always used to explain how it went. I could never get it. And then finally I did. Very cool.
Does Entombed come out with anything new recently, or they're done?
I don't know. They're one of those bands that they're hard to you hear this song and you're like, oh, they're kind of like, heavy, kind of fast doom metal type of stuff. And then you hear other songs and you're like, whoa, what is this? It's like very different. They're kind of a hard band to kind of I guess classify, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes for whatever reason that can kind of hurt a band when they don't really have a specific genre you can put them in or whatever when they do a lot of different stuff.
Sure.
But
cool.
Yeah, man.
Entombed.
I Master off of Wolverine Blues.
Thigh Master. Nice.
5 Magics.
What else do you have on your list?
All right, I'll give something that everybody probably knows on here. It's got to be done. War Ensemble. If Thrash Metal and Fun Riffs is here, he's going to be pumped about this one. What else can be said besides the sloppy intro? When the first kind of drum fill comes in, it's like then the guitar is like it's weird, but something about Slayer and that amount of like stuff that they left kind of makes it cool.
Sure.
They weren't let's go fix everything. No, they left a lot of I don't want to say mistakes, but just stuff that wasn't maybe perfectly played, and they left that stuff. And I think that can add to that type of music, because a lot of bands will go back and fix all that stuff.
Cool. Yeah, War Ensemble is awesome.
Oh yeah.
You gotta love Slayer.
Yep.
Cool. All right, I got 2 for you. One you already said, and one, if it's not on your list, you're gonna kick yourself for not saying.
Oh shit.
So I'm gonna go with the one you already said.
Which one?
Meshuggah, Future Breed Machine. I had that as number 3 because that song is awesome. We don't have to talk about it anymore. It's just one of the best. I think like uber heavy metal songs, and a long time ago listening to it, I was like, "What is this?" It's great.
Yeah.
So
For the longest time, I said if I was like a professional baseball player or a professional wrestler, that would be my intro coming out to the ring or up to the plate. Imagine hearing that, the alarm.
Yeah.
Like, hell yeah.
No, hell no. If I was for baseball, I would roll up to Happy Birthday, man. Just have the whole crowd singing it as I'm coming up to the
That'd
plate.
be pretty funny.
The pitcher would be like in a good mood, just throw me a meatball and I would crush. Hell yeah. Roll out to Happy Birthday.
Or, another great intro song
What's that?
or whatever for baseball.
Sure.
Dude, imagine coming out to Real American from like Hulk Hogan's intro. Bam, 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 the whole crowd be going,
Yeah.
when
that
it
song's
comes
awesome.
crashing down.
Super patriotic.
Hell yeah.
All right.
right.
So Future Breed Machine, Meshuggah. And then I have
Shock.
by Fear Factory.
I have it on my list. I mean,
Do you
why
really?
would you think that it wouldn't be on my list?
I don't know. I thought maybe you just like forgot. You hastily put your list together and didn't
No,
have it.
it's there. It's there.
Dude, that song is awesome. That's
Yep.
one of my favorite all time. And I remember listening to that song with you. I don't know, 5-6 years ago. We were in the car. I think we went to Home Depot or in that parking lot in Myrtle Beach. And then you're just like, your favorite part of the song was the end when the guitar keeps boom. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
I always like that part. So when you like say something that I'm like, yeah, I love that too. Let's hug it out. No, I didn't say that, but I felt that way. False Flag. Creator Coma. I was gonna say Coma of Souls, 1990 thrash at its best. I've never listened to that song. I know who Creator is, but I don't really know their catalog too well. What about you,
See,
Jay?
That might be, if I remember correctly, I remember going back and listening to a lot of that old 80s thrash stuff. And then that's 90, but I just remember the reason why I don't like a lot of it is because of the production. I'd have to go back and listen to that Creator record, but if the production is dog shit, sorry for swearing, it's hard for me to listen to it. I don't care how great the music is.
Sure.
If an album sounds like it was recorded in the garage by my dad, it's going to be hard for me to listen to it and give it an honest, critique.
Yep. So Mike Balls is here. This story is so beat at this point.
Well, then get out of here. Then
Where are you, Balls? Are you like 15 minutes ago?
yeah, it was a half hour ago.
I'm not sure what story he's talking about.
Probably the one with Jens Kidman telling him,
No, that's a great story. You want to tell it again real quick for anyone who's just tuning in? But thanks, False Flag. And I hope your new album is coming out soon. Look forward to hearing it.
Yeah, it's coming out soon.
Cool.
Maybe we'll get him to jump in at the very end before we go home for the night to talk about it real quick. Who's going now?
All right. I just did Shock, Fear Factory, Future Breed Machine, Meshuggah, and I have 2 left. So you go.
Well, I'm going to have to rip off a couple then because all right, how about this? We'll go back to a little bit of Pantera here.
Okay.
I think I just deleted it. Nope. One of the grooviest, heaviest, a new level off a Vulgar Display of Power. I mean,
son of a bitch.
Right?
Yeah.
It was on your list. It
Has
has
to be on the list. That's coming up.
It's just so damn heavy, and it has that trademark Vinnie Paul, ride cymbal, kick snare.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's just awesome. I mean, that song is just so heavy, so groovy,
so good.
Yeah, it's just one of those, it's up there with one. If somebody wanted me to, like, hey, I've never heard Pantera. what's the one song you could show somebody? That would be one of them. That'd be like one of the top 2 or 3 songs that I would show somebody that never heard Pantera. Like,
Sure.
listen to this,
Yeah. Leo Zafko, anyone here fans of Bruce Dickinson's Accident of Birth and Chemical Wedding from late 90s with Adrian Smith and Roy Z on guitar? Great stuff. I've never heard that. I've never listened to it.
I don't know if I might have listened to it. I mean, obviously I'm a Bruce Dickinson fan. I like Maiden. I'd have to go back and listen to that stuff. I remember getting another one of those sampler tapes with a bunch of different bands on it. And Bruce Dickinson, there was a solo track from him on it. And it was actually a kick-ass song. Probably around 98. Maybe that's one he's talking about. I'll have to go back and check it out, though.
I'll check
Thanks,
it out.
Leo.
Yeah, thanks, bud. Yeah, definitely check it out. Getting back to Pantera, I remember learning a new level. But like, if you go and look up tabs, you have the sloppy, easy way where it's drop tuned, right? So you're just barring, open 1, 2, 3, like you're going like that. But Dime is playing, he's playing chords. So that song is hard. It's real difficult to learn.
What is it tuned to?
I don't know. I think it's a step down. So it's like D standard, I believe.
Okay.
I would have to double check, but yeah, I know it's not standard tuning. I think it's D standard, if I'm not mistaken. So, great song. And that dun, 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 like his right hand was so tight.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so good.
Let me give another Pantera song.
All right, give it to me.
How about Slaughtered?
Slaughter. Yeah.
Now, the one cool thing about this song that I always thought was the whole bridge section, right? When just rings out on that E, and Vinnie Paul is actually doing a paradiddle with hands and feet. So he's got the ride cymbal going, but it's like,
Who's he diddling?
so it's a foot. A paradiddle is in drums, like if you do hands, like right, left, right, left, right, left, left. But the right is the right foot, and the left is the snare. But it's a paradiddle, but it's cool as hell. It's like nobody who would think to, in metal especially, doing a paradiddle with your, in a metal song.
I love diddling. Favorite. Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
Yep. It's a great song. What else you got?
All right, I'll give another one. Why not? How about a little bit of Cannibal Corpse, everybody?
Oh, what jam you got from Corpse Grinder?
I think somebody said this song in the chit before, but Dead Human Collection.
Dead Human Collection. The one thing that I love about Cannibal Corpse is that they're all about positivity, and
oh yeah, of course.
After you listen to them, you just feel positive about life. So it's it's great.
What's the album that this is on? I forget the goddamn name.
My colon is 4 inches round.
Hold on, let me look it up just to give everybody the album that it's on. Somebody's probably going to list it in there before I even get to it. Cannibal Corpse. I love I Come Blood is one song. That's funny.
Who doesn't? That's the real question.
Bloodthirst. Thank you. Jesus. Bloodthirst, 1999. Right on the cusp.
Right? It wasn't Cannibal Corpse in Ace Ventura, right?
Yep. And the deleted scene from that is one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. When Jim Carrey's on stage.
And he's singing?
Yes.
Yeah.
I gotta go, guys. I have a date with your mothers. And he drops the mic and does the shut off the stage.
Yep.
God. I'd imagine if I was a singer in a band, that's probably close to what I would be, because I can't be serious doing that kind of stuff. Singing in that kind of band, I'd probably have to be a goofball to be comfortable up there.
Sure.
Yeah. With a guitar, you can hide behind your instrument,
Yeah, Corpse Grinder's got some real amazing lyrics.
Oh, they're awesome.
I remember one time. This is like 5-6 years ago, and I'm with Brody. So Brody will be 14 and next week. Holy
Oh my
crap.
god.
But so he was like 8 or 9 years old, and this is not their most recent album, obviously, but there was one before, and there was a song, and he's just like,
Fire up the chainsaw.
Probably what the hell's the crap?
but
Yeah,
it
what the
was
hell,
great. Brody's like, is he like real literal? Like, is he like chopping trees? Is he doing yard work? Because I was talking about like landscaping. Oh, it was awesome. You'll even say that to this day. Fire up the chainsaw. That's great.
That's one of those bands you got to read the lyrics to know what the hell's going on.
Sure.
You know? But again, I've heard that Corpse Grinder, whatever his real name is, he's like a big teddy bear. You know, I think he's supposedly he's like a super nice guy. You know,
he's actually coming out with a solo album, which sounds just like Cannibal Corpse.
Probably. Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure he's not gonna do any clean vocals or any acoustic songs, but
wouldn't that be awesome? He does an acoustic record or a piano singer-songwriter type of thing.
That'd be great. I hope he does like something different. It's not Cannibal Corpse, why not? You know?
Imagine he has like this beautiful voice. And you're like
operatic.
Yeah. Like Candlebox. He does a Candlebox cover band.
That'd be sick.
That would be.
All right, back to me now. Let's focus on me, guys.
Okay.
All right, number 2 for me, Korn. Of course, it's 90s. It's definitely Korn. So I have like 4 songs. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4 songs. So one of them I was playing for Jay prior to the show starting. Proud. It's like it's a bonus track.
Yep.
And it was recorded off when the first album was made. And then Chi off Life is Peachy. Like after Twist, and when that kicked in, and that just the sludge and the growl of the 7-string, like right then and there is when I fell in love with the 7-string. It was 1996.
Yep.
And that's when I started playing guitar, and I was like, I need to do that. But then I had a 6-string guitar tuned to E, and I'm like, how come this doesn't sound right? And I didn't know that, kind of like James Hetfield, like, you can tune lower than standard tuning. Like, what's going on right now?
Because it's the lowest note.
I was like, I don't sound anywhere near this. What's going on? And so Chi off Life's Peachy, and then Fake off the first Korn album. It's one of the deeper cuts later in the album. That song is so good, so heavy. And then off Follow the Leader, when Korn was, they still had some really heavy stuff to it, but Dead Bodies Everywhere. That song is sick. You like that song, right?
So yeah, when did you get your first 7-string?
2001, 2002. I got it for Christmas.
Yep. Were you like, thank God?
Yeah, it was great. It was.
You still had to tune it down. Man, my eyes are itching. What's going on up here?
It's the that magenta, My Purple Majesty.
You have a Majesty before they made them, Music Man, Petrucci Majesty.
No, because it's purple. I think Balls had that guitar, right?
No, it's the Vampire's Kiss. Wasn't that the color? It's like a reddish purple, right?
Right.
Right?
Yeah, it is. Yep.
Yeah, like Vampire's Kiss was the color of that one.
Sure. I have a question for Magic Man. What's my favorite 7-string? I have to say My Universe, which I'll grab real quick.
Yeah, go grab it.
Slide over.
Grab.
I have several 7-strings, but this is probably my favorite because it feels the best. So, yeah. Here you go, bud. This is
set up by yours truly.
Yep. So it's probably the best feeling guitar I have. It's amazing.
Dude, those early 90s Ibanez guitars, man, hard to beat.
Yeah.
Hard to beat.
Also, I have that cool Steph Carpenter ESP. So this is another 7-string I have, and I have one 7-string at Guitar Center currently.
That one's a looka. It's a looka. Look at that. That makes you want to grab some like Laffy Taffy or something.
One thing I like on it says battery, like right here, just in case I didn't know where it was. There we go. Thanks for labeling ESP. So, but also, Jay, I should have back next week. I called today. I forgot to tell you.
Oh, you forgot?
No, I called.
Oh.
He said it should be done either this weekend or early next week. So that's great.
Right, cool.
So cool.
Awesome.
So we
Magic Man says he has a Weasel 7-string for sale if anyone wants one of the best 7 strings available on the market. Super sick guitar. He's just poor. Hey, I know the feeling.
And then I think all Dave All Night asks, which is my favorite Jim Root guitar? It's this, and this is my favorite guitar of all time. Like this was made for me. It's perfect. So there you go.
How many more we got here? Man, my phone is gonna die soon. It's gonna die. All right, I didn't list any Anthrax yet.
Okay, go ahead.
Off of Persistence of Time,
I figured you would.
the last track, Discharge. Now, I think Discharge has one of the heaviest thrash metal riffs known to man. And it's actually a pretty tricky riff to play as well. But it's the bridge riff, you know, when everything cut, then it breaks in. It's awesome. It's like, hell yeah, man. Awesome stuff. I love it. Love it. It's like one of those metal riffs that I get goosebumps off of. It's like,
That's your favorite Anthrax album?
oh, yes. Yes, it is.
Mhm.
Yep. It's weird. I get it. You know, obviously I love
Among
the Living.
Yeah.
It's a different, I get a different vibe listening to both. Like when I'm listening to Among the Living, I get into like a happy, like pumped up mood, like hell yeah. But when Persistence, it's like darker, and it's definitely a more progressive album as well. But I don't know. I just think song wise and production, it's just like they were locked in, and that album just hits with me, you know.
Sure.
And I still remember how I found out that album was out. I had no idea. You know, this is back in the day when, you know, before the internet and stuff, you're learning stuff from MTV.
Right.
But there was still a lot of bands that we were all fans of that didn't get a lot of coverage on MTV, you know?
Sure.
So Anthrax really wasn't massive on MTV until Bring the Noise with Public Enemy. You know, that was what, 92, I believe, when that came out. So I remember getting the circulars, you know, the Sunday circulars and Caldor's ad. So I'm flipping through Caldor, probably looking for toys, you know, 1991. And I saw Available Tuesday or whatever the hell it was, or this week. And it had a bunch of cassettes, you know, stood up. And I saw Anthrax, Persistence of Time. I was like, oh my God, Anthrax has a new album. I was pumped. My mom took me to the store, got that son bitch, and oh my God, loved it. Still, that's the Anthrax album I listen to more than any other one to this day. Still, I love it. Love that album.
That's awesome.
The guitar tone. I wish they would go back to that guitar tone. You know.
You see that that video I sent to you last week, and Scott Ian was playing a 7-string.
Really? Did I see it?
I hope so. I sent it to you. Unless you don't pay attention to what I send you.
Maybe I did.
He was playing Roots with his 10-year-old son.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Playing 7-string there.
And I don't want to say again, you know, I'm very weird with this stuff, but Anthrax is one of those bands. You know, I don't want them. I don't want to hear them playing 7-string.
Sure.
You know,
no.
The drop D stuff is cool. You know, like in The Family and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But standard E is where certain bands the foundation should be there, like Metallica. You know, standard E. It's just, you know, people think like, oh, the lower tuned, the heavier. But think of it, some of the heaviest songs and some of the heaviest riffs are in standard tuning.
Sure.
You know, there's a bunch of them we mentioned tonight.
Well, lower tune just means it's lower.
Yeah,
That's all.
it's
Doesn't
lower.
necessarily mean it's heavier. It's just lower.
Yeah, and again, you could take, like, let's just say you take some corn riffs, right, that are in A, and you play those in E, they sound wimpy,
They do.
and then you do the other way. You play some, you play Blackened or something on a 7-string in B, it just doesn't sound cool. So it all depends on, a lot of times it's just certain riffs sound great in a certain tuning,
Sure.
Yeah.
Agreed. Agreed. Do you have anything else?
Yes, I do. I have another Anthrax song. I had to give one from the Joey or the John Bush era.
The Bush.
The Bush. Off of Sound of White Noise. This is an album I'd love to hear remixed, but the last track, This Is Not an Exit. I think it's a great song. Heavy as hell. Just, it's got one of those, it's a great song.
Mhm.
I don't see many people mention it a lot. Maybe it's because it's the last song on the album. I don't know.
Yep.
But if you ever want to hear one of the better John Bush era Anthrax songs, that's definitely up there.
Good.
Yep.
I'm on my number one.
Are you? Hold on. How many do I have left?
But I have 5 songs from this band.
I have 4 left.
4 left?
Yeah.
All right, give us a couple more.
All right, let's go with the band Pissing Razors and the song Dodging Bullets.
Pissing Razors.
Dude, awesome. Pretty good band.
That'd been awesome if they were called Shitting Razors. It's like, oh, you've diarrhea. We've been there.
Been there. That's my band. If I had a band.
That's
I
your
had,
side
I had
project.
to choose between peeing and pooping. I'd definitely be pooping.
So Pissing Razors, what song?
I almost said Sweating Bullets, but that's Megadeth. It's Dodging Bullets. Dodging Bullets from Pissing Razors.
Okay. Yeah, it definitely sounds like an STD. Absolutely. It's like, we're going to the doctor. What's wrong? Pissing Razors. Oh, I got that too.
I got it. Got it. Can't get rid of it.
Cool. What else you got?
Should I say, how about this? Somebody mentioned it earlier. We got DNR from Testament off of The Gathering.
Mm-hmm.
Great album. Yeah, check that one out. It's awesome.
Okay.
And how about this one? Self-Biased Resistor off of Demanufacture. One of the cooler album covers, I think, in metal.
Yep.
Such a great album cover. Great album. That's the album I got into Fear Factory on. And again, this was like the first album that I listened to that actually had straight screaming in it. I was anti-screaming. And then once I heard this album, I was like, oh, hey, he does clean singing. And I like that. So I guess I'll try to get used to the screaming stuff. And the next thing you know, I was like, oh my God, this is this is great.
Sure.
It was the first album I listened to on my Sony Discman. It was the first CD Walkman that I had. Demanufacture was the first CD I put into it.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Great album.
Oh, it is. Yep.
And Positive Flag, Time just blew my mind.
Yep.
Time.
Yeah, it's got the, a lot of that song I think is in 7/8 as well. What is it? Yeah. I've got some. Yeah.
Yep. Magic Man, the most you've seen any bands 4 or 5 times. I've seen Korn 22 times throughout my life.
Damn.
But I've seen them since Life is Peachy. When I was old enough to go to a show. When they dropped the self-titled, I was 13. So my parents were like, "Nah, you're not going to a show yet on your own."
Dude, last week, Jeannie and I were talking about concerts and shows, and like if we regret not going to something, I had tickets to see Korn in 1995 in New York City.
With who? Was that like Marilyn Manson or something?
No, I think it was 311. I'm almost positive it was 3. I have the ticket stub still.
Yep. Yeah, they toured
And-
with 311. I think they toured with Megadeth. They toured with Ozzy.
Yeah, but the 311 one, it wasn't at a big venue. This is before Korn really got popular.
Sure.
And so me and my friend John Hankey were supposed to go. At the time, we were best friends, and we both were just like Korn nuts at the time. And we got tickets. And literally a few days before the show, he's like, "Dude, I have like basketball tryouts, and if I don't go to the tryouts, I'm not on the team."
Right.
And I couldn't find anybody to go to the show with me.
Sure.
And it's one of those shows where I look back and I'm like, God damn it. You know?
Mm-hmm. Sure. It's the and I've talked about this before. Is one show that I missed and I regret. It was Pantera. It was in 2001. It was their last tour, and they were touring with Soulfly. And I had a final the night that they were at the Mid-Hudson Civic Center.
I went to that one.
And I was like, do I take my final or do I go see Pantera, who I've always wanted to see? And I'm like, well, I'm going to do the right thing because I'm paying for college myself, and I'm not going to fail a class that I'm paying for. If it was my parents paying for it, I would like.
Get your mom back in here.
So I went and took the final and didn't see Pantera, and then they were done. So that sucked.
Dude,
so I never had a chance to see Pantera.
That show, it was great and everything, but later in the show, you could tell Phil was kind of like, whatever, a little something.
Mm-hmm.
And Dimebag started playing the intro for Cemetery Gates, and the crowd went nuts because we were thinking they're not going to play that. Phil can't sing that stuff anymore.
Right.
So Dime's playing the intro, and we're like, they're going to play Cemetery Gates. And then Phil stopped and like, you don't deserve that song. And it's like, what? And then I forget what they played next, but everybody was like bummed. Like they didn't play. If you're not going to play it, don't play it. Don't even tease it.
Right.
But when you play the intro and you're like, then you don't play it, it's like, you sons of,
Sure. Agreed.
Man, my eyes are itching up here. What the hell? Somebody pumping something into the house?
Take your Flonase today, bud.
Yeah, I double up, I guess, huh? Nasacort.
All right, so I'm number one now. I'm number one. Number one now. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
It's Pantera. You already said one of the songs, A New Level. We already talked about that. So I did a song off of each album. Domination, which you opened with.
Yep.
And I was like, damn, that's my number one. But a couple songs you don't have. Use My Third Arm off Far Beyond Driven.
Mm-hmm.
That song is super heavy. And then when like in the middle of the song, it slows down that and then Dime is doing the scrape. Oh, song is so good. That's a fantastic song. That whole album is amazing, minus track 5.
No, track 5 is just, I hate that song.
Oh, I fucked your girlfriend last night. And then my last song I have on here, I've talked about once before, Sandblasted Skin. I don't know if you can get heavier from Pantera. Like that song is super heavy. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. I think that's tuned to like Z sharp. That's it's such an odd tuning too.
Drop R.
Yeah. So that's number one for me. So top 10 heaviest songs of the 90s, which I gave 20. The number one's Pantera. Pantera was the band of the 90s. They I said this, I think it was last night during Johnny's show with Mancuda and Neanderthal. I don't know where metal would have been without Pantera, because Metallica was was the band for metal, and then Black Album came out, and people were like, what is this? Metallica's Black Album made rock, hard rock, metal more mainstream, which is fantastic, but
Mhm.
they weren't heavy anymore like they were. So
Well,
Pantera,
they weren't thrash anymore.
right? But
Yeah.
Pantera is just like, we have to do this. So God bless Pantera.
Oh yeah, I mean, no matter what happened in music, Pantera was still Pantera, and you got to give them credit for that, you know. And they didn't take you know, they weren't one of those bands that got crap for staying heavy, you know.
Sure.
Obviously Metallica, you know, it's not like the Black Album isn't heavy metal, it is.
Right.
But after that, with Load and Reload, like they completely changed. They
Yep.
weren't Metallica anymore.
Nope.
And then obviously with grunge and everything from, you know, 91 on, it was hard to find a lot of those heavy metal bands anymore.
Yep.
And again, you know, Pantera stayed true.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a well, Pantera is the biggest extreme metal band of all time.
Agreed.
You know, they in 1994 when Far Beyond Driven came out, it's the heaviest album to ever go number one. You know, and I argue a little bit with Paul Neanderthal about this. He says like Pantera isn't as big as people think they were and whatever. Like, dude, nobody's comparing Pantera to Metallica. Like, you can't. But for how heavy Pantera was, considering that they were massive,
Huge.
a band that heavy has no business having a number one album. But
and
they
I
did.
think, honestly, if you go peak to peak, Pantera against Metallica live, I think Pantera would be like a better show than Metallica.
I don't know about that.
I'm saying it. I'm saying it.
You could say it all you want, but you know, later on after those first couple albums, Phil wasn't. You know,
Well, I agree, but I'm saying peak to peak, but also because like you know, Pantera are running around stage a little more, a little more crazy. I don't know. It's just and their stuff is heavier than Metallica. So I think from a show standpoint, I think, in my opinion,
yeah, but you're more of a Pantera fan than you are a Metallica fan.
100%. I am. I like Pantera more than I like Metallica.
Yeah,
absolutely. So yeah, I don't know. It would have been sick because how awesome would it have been though? What are you going to see tonight? Pantera and Metallica. You imagine?
Yeah.
You imagine?
That'd be awesome.
Sick.
Yep.
It would be.
Yeah, the Justice Tour, all Dave all night says Metallica Justice Tour was. Did you go to see that, Dave? Because man, that's the one Metallica tour. If I did have a DeLorean, I would go back and watch that.
Hell yeah.
Same as like Van Halen. Even though I never got to see Van Halen with Roth. I think I would still choose the 5150 tour to go back and watch. Maybe tough. I mean, maybe I'd go back and watch like Fair Warning or something, the Fair Warning tour. But I don't know, man. You know.
So if you have one tour, you have the DeLorean for one night, and you can go back to anything, what would it be?
Oh my God, one tour. Oh my God, dude. That's really tough. Would you choose a huge band in like their club days? Or would you choose them at their peak, you know, of popularity or right before they really took off? Because Justice, you know, Metallica wasn't Black Album Metallica yet. Sure. They weren't selling out the world.
Sure.
In 1989 or 80, well, summer of 88 into 89.
See, that would be for me, Metallica.
Justice Tour?
Justice Tour. Like that's
Damaged Justice. Yeah.
Dude, that's where they were firing on all cylinders. They were perfect.
Yeah, they still wanted to conquer the world at that point.
Awesome.
And they were just about to get there, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's funny. Kurt 5150 sent me a quote from Sammy Hagar the other day, and he mentioned this on Metal Wednesday on Saturday Night Live. Let me read it. It's a quote from Sammy Hagar during the Monsters of Rock tour in the summer of '88, and the quote is, where is it? I have to swipe past all Kurt's dick pics here to get to it. Where the hell is it, Kurt? What did you send it to me on? Is this it? That's not it. Here it is. I got it. Man, my brightness is crappy. All right. Let's see. Nothing Van Halen did on Sunday altered the earlier impression that Metallica is making the metal of the moment. LA Times reviewer Steve Hockman noted, and likely the future. The band made a similar impression on Sammy Hagar. This is Sammy, quote, Metallica will be the new kings of rock. Just you wait and see. So Sammy Hagar knew, and again, I've mentioned this a million times on this channel. My brother saw the Monsters of Rock show at the Meadowlands in the summer of '88. He was never a huge Metallica fan.
Mm-hmm.
And the next morning when I woke up and asked him, how was the concert? He said, man, Metallica blew everybody away, even Van Halen. And this is coming from somebody who's not even a fan. He probably didn't even know any of the songs at the time. You know,
Sure.
maybe he heard some from friends or something that were fans. But, you know, when you go to a concert and you're not a fan of a band and they knock your socks off, that tells you something, man. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
They were hungry as hell back then.
Agreed.
And Dokken had to go on after them. Whew. Man, no thanks.
No thanks. Do you have any other songs on your list?
I had one. I had a
Tool
band
song
Violence. A world in a world is the song.
from Violence?
Yep.
Hmm.
Yep. Actually,
Wow.
OJ from Byzantine did a cover that I mixed. And I'd never heard the song before until he sent me his version. And I was like, dude, this song is killer. So
That's awesome.
yep.
You have any Tool songs?
No.
Yeah,
I don't.
me
I mean,
neither.
I'm a Tool fan, but
Agreed. But they're not, to me, top 10 heaviest. There's obviously some heavy songs, but
yeah, but I don't consider them metal. You know.
agreed. Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. So that's our list of top 10 heavy songs of the 90s. So I'm going to tell you right now, for next show, next month, we're going to do top 10 heaviest songs of the 2000s. So Jay, you have a whole month to prepare.
You just let me know now, so I don't check it.
That's
check
what it is
the
right
list.
now.
Yeah.
So yeah, so when you guys watch the show next month, come prepared. You have some homework to do as well. So yeah, before we finish up for the night, 'cause we're getting down to the end. What else of this year for 2022 are you looking forward to, Jay? Any albums that are coming out? Any new releases? Anything
Well,
that you're looking?
if Metallica comes out with a new album this year, obviously I'll be interested.
Yep.
Obviously the Meshuggah record is going to be coming out. What else is coming out?
Megadeth is coming out a new album.
Yes, that's right. Megadeth is coming out with a new album.
Byzantine.
Well, it's an EP. I've already heard it, so I'm not that excited.
Well, actually,
I've heard it 1,000 times already.
next Friday, not this Friday, coming up next Friday, the new Korn album comes out.
Oh, no snap. Okay.
So I think the new album has 10 songs. They've already released 2. And the new one that came out.
One of them is dreadful.
Jay's not a fan, guys, if you couldn't tell. But the other song that came out last week, a lot heavier, real cool. What'd you think of that? I forgot what you said.
I stopped it as soon as the vocals came in.
The one thing I'll say, and next month we'll do a review of the new Korn album, just because it's Korn.
You can do a review of the new Korn album.
You have to listen to it. Come on. Like,
I'll listen to it, but yeah,
I'll do a review. But I really like Jonathan's vocals. I think the older that he gets, I just think he's honed his craft. He's such a good singer, and he composes like the structure of his vocals. He does such a great job. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope it's really good.
No,
Because
I get that, but there's something about the rawness and the unrefined first two albums that I like. You know, I don't listen to Korn for great vocals. Like,
sure.
I want to hear rawness and aggression and you know, just stripped back, pulled back stuff. You know, I don't need all this, you know, million vocal tracks and perfection and all this extra production stuff with that.
Sure.
You know?
Well, the first
That's
two
just
Korn albums changed the game.
Yeah.
Completely altered metal.
Yep.
And hard rock. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. We have what else we have coming out? Hopefully new Metallica, new Lamb of God. Hopefully, Slipknot. Yeah, that should be like April, Mayish. So that's pretty cool. And there's a lot of cool tours that are being announced now. Like Korn and Chevelle, they're going on tour together, which I want to see. I love Korn and Chevelle.
That's right. You do love some Chevelle.
Megadeth, Trivium, Lamb of God, Hatebreed, the 2022 tour of the year, metal tour of the year. That should be a pretty cool show. Slipknot is taking Cypress Hill out on the road.
Oh Jesus, they're pulling the old Korn stuff, bringing out the, you know, didn't Cypress Hill tour with Korn one time?
I don't think so. I know they toured with Rage Against the Machine, but I don't know if they toured with Korn.
Yeah, I can't believe neither one of us pulled the Rage Against the Machine song out.
True.
Wow, especially from that first record.
Yeah, first record is definitely heavier than the second album.
Even though second record does have Bulls on Parade. So
I would have to say off of the first album, Freedom, if I had to pick a song, heaviest song off that album.
What about Township Rebellion?
Township Rebellion's sick.
That's such a killer track, man.
It is. It's a great song.
Yep.
But the Freedom.
Isn't that the one that plays at the end of The Matrix, the first one?
No, Wake Up is the first one.
That's right. Wake. That's a great one too, man. Dude, that first Rage record is great.
Fantastic. Yeah.
It's too bad that now they're like Rage with the Machine, but you know, we can save that for another topic, another show.
That's true. But the end of Freedom with Zach screaming. And I remember when I was younger, and a friend of mine was like, yeah, Zach would swallow Vaseline for his throat. I was like, really? That's insane.
I remember hearing that too, man. I remember hearing that. Swallow Vaseline. Hey, False Flag wants to jump in quick before we split. Are we is it about that time?
Bring him on.
Yeah, come on in. Welcome. Plug your new record. Oh,
hey guys.
Oh, hey John.
False Flag here.
Hey, False Flag.
We are the same person. I would just like everybody to know that. Awesome. Just kidding. There's another one.
Oh no,
hey guys.
There he is.
How are you?
You got the POV.
I've got to say it's 33 degrees Celsius here in Melbourne, so it's very hot.
What is that in real temperature?
Like 100 degrees.
I think it's like over 100.
Are you kidding me?
It's boiling.
Do you have an air conditioner there?
Yeah, it's right on me.
Right so what are you complaining about?
Hey, Jay, I was going to ask you, on persistence of time, what do you think of Dan's solos? Because I always thought that they had a huge impact on me at that time. I thought they were really, really innovative.
They are. I almost feel like though I think his solos on like Among the Living are better. But again, this is all personal preference.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some of them are really good. Some of them are really
Yeah, I
good.
just think he's underrated, very underrated.
Definitely
Yeah.
underrated. Definitely underrated as a lead
Yeah.
player in the thrash metal world. You know, he was
Yeah.
really, really good. And he had
And
cool
also-
guitars. Remember the he had the
Oh,
Jackson
those
Flying V, the ninja,
Jackson Flying V's, yeah.
with the Ninja
He always
Turtles
had
on
such cool ones. Yeah.
it. Yep. He was cool.
And also, this morning, a friend of mine sent me, he says, in relation to the chat between Neanderthal and John yesterday, Metallica, when they played the Grammys in '88, I think it was, I think they really sort of just, like, because it was live television,
Yeah.
you know, and mainstream, they played, you know, the Grammys, and it was just a huge event for the metal community, you know.
So is Justice your favorite Metallica record?
Oh yeah, without a doubt, without a doubt.
Yeah.
It's just like what I said to the other day. Like, it might not have bass, but you know, it is what it is. You know, now. You know,
Yeah.
it's a great album.
Yeah,
That guitar tone is perfect. So.
that guitar tone. I mean, that's how heavy that guitar tone is. It doesn't even need bass guitar behind.
Yeah, actually,
so
yeah.
goddamn heavy. It's like Jesus, you know. And you know, people complain about the Justice mix. Now, in my opinion, this is just me talking, right? You know, I love Master of Puppets, but when I put on Master of Puppets, to me it sounds dated. It sounds like an 80s metal record, whereas Justice, I mean, Justice kind of laid the foundation for how metal kick drums and the tightness of a mix ended up being like the staple in heavy metal.
Yeah.
You know? So if I were to hear, if I were to pick a Metallica record to be remixed, it would be Master of Puppets, not Justice.
Yeah, I agree with you there. And if I was to pick a song off Justice, Frayed Ends of Sanity, for me, it's just a perfect track.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude,
It's like just awesome.
it's got the OEO in the beginning.
Yep. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh.
But just that middle bit before the solo, just killer.
So, False Flag, tell us about your album.
Oh.
Where are we?
Where are we? We just did the artwork, and it's being mastered at the moment, and it's pretty much finished. It's finished, so it's just going to be, you know, made. CDs are going to be made, and it's done. So very excited.
That's awesome.
Very excited.
Hell
Look
yeah!
forward to hearing
Can't wait to hear that. We'll have Boner Jams do a review on that.
I hope you're kind. I hope you're kind to us.
Well, if you sneak them a 20,
Was that Johnny laughing?
Table, you know,
So
It's great. We love it.
can you give give the fans a little taste? Like how many tracks on it? How long is the album?
There's 8, and we've got. I'm a big fan of a keyboard solo, like a Derek Sherinian type keyboard solo, and we've got about 4 guest keyboard solos on it, and it's really cool. And I think it's unique. It's not, I think it's going to be cool. Well, it's my, it's going to be something that I'm proud of. So I don't like you, Jay. I don't care if it does anything, to be honest. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's when you put music out. I mean, you can have expectations or whatever you feel, but at the end of the day, if you're happy with it and if you're proud of it, that, I mean, an independent musician nowadays, you can't really expect to, number one, make a lot of money putting an album out.
Yeah.
Having something massive and huge. So modern music, especially if you're playing heavy type of music, if you're going to put an album out, as long as you're happy with it and you're proud of it, and that, to me, that means a lot, because that means, it's honest. If you put something out and you're proud of it and you like, this is me, being proud of something like that it means a lot. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, and also like for me as like a little kid growing up, there were 3 defining moments in my musical journey, and that was listening to like Metallica and Justice for All when I was like a teenager, and the second one was Meshuggah Chaosphere.
Yeah.
I just was like, what the hell is going on here? It just rearranged my brain. It was
Yeah.
unbelievable.
I'm sure you heard me mention it before. Like once it clicked and I started to understand what was going on with Meshuggah, it completely
Yeah.
transformed my like musical brain. I was like, oh, holy crap.
Yeah.
Start writing in different time signatures and that type of stuff. It was super cool to do.
Yeah, like I just wish I had a video of my reaction the first time I heard it. I was told to just be like, what am I listening to?
Yeah.
Like,
Is this 2 songs playing at once? Like what is
I don't know. You can relive that watching, on YouTube the reaction channels. Like, Jay and I have talked about it before. You know how you'll see something like someone, oh, I'm reacting to this, and like, hell yeah, I love that song, because you want those people to have the same reaction that you had initially, so you can kind of live through them again. Like, that's how I felt.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
that's the one thing I wish we could do. Is I wish we could listen to our favorite songs for the first time again. Like
well, that would
be so cool to do.
It was like you said, if you could get a DeLorean, then we could go back. But yeah,
we can watch sit in the car with myself from 20 years ago. And be like, dude, this is awesome.
That's funny. That's funny.
Speaking of the frayed ends, somebody mentioned the rhythm guitar underneath the solo on Frayed Ends of Sanity.
Yes. Yep.
So, dude, if you go and listen to the when they released the how's it called, the 30th anniversary edition of Justice, they have the whole album like rough mixes done, and a lot of them have bass guitar in them, and a lot of them also don't have any lead guitar, so you can actually hear that whole section with no Kirk, and it's just drums, guitar, and bass. You just It's so good. It's like, hell yeah, man. Hetfield was
the thing about Injustice is even Kirk was like at the top of his game.
Yep.
Like he was playing really well on that album.
Agreed.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Well, they talked about what, like, when they went into that album, like, at the time every like thrash band was like, well, who's like, the best and who's the fastest and who can play the hardest stuff. And you can tell that Kirk kind of took that to heart, because a lot of those solos on that album are pretty tricky to play.
They are.
The Blackened solo is very cool. And again, that whole rhythm guitar section, right? I think I would have an easier time learning the solo over the Frayed Ends of Sanity. But again, having to write a solo over the moving chords and the rhythm changing and stuff like that for Frayed Ends of Sanity, that's not an easy task, and that solo is long as shit.
Yeah, no doubt. And you hear people like Dave Mustaine, like, laughing at Metallica and stuff like that. There's no way Megadeth ever did anything like Injustice for All.
Right.
In my opinion, anyway. So.
Agreed. I think when you have a chip on your shoulder or you're slighted, that gives you some extra motivation to prove people wrong. And after Justice and then Black Album, they're like, we don't need to prove anything anymore,
Yep.
So I think that's where that changed. So
how about that, huh? Wait. Johnny is flagged. Actually, Metallica doesn't give a crap. You can cover Metallica all day. They won't care. That's how cool Metallica is,
and real quick,
Depends on where you are.
Sherman Callahan, thank you for the sticker.
Sherman Callahan, Steve Anderson,
the man.
Hey now, Steve Anderson. What?
And just quickly, have you guys heard that Kerry King is thinking of continuing with Slayer if Tom doesn't stay with him. Like, I don't get it. Like,
I hope not.
yeah, me too.
I mean, at the age they are and at the point of their career they are, I think that, especially like the singer frontman, Tom Araya, his voice is very, identifiable with that band.
Yeah.
If the rest of the band wants to continue, I think they should do it.
Well, I mean, it's only Kerry. I mean, he's the only member that from the old Slayer. So.
Oh, if he's the only member, then
he's the only one. Yeah.
Then you can't. I don't think he can. You shouldn't have it be. I mean, it's not my band. I can't say, but
yeah,
I don't know, man. I don't think you can.
And his solos, by the way, for me as a guitarist, some of the funniest things I've ever heard. Like,
it's
just nonsense, absolute nonsense.
Well, you know what though? A lot of those songs, it works, right? It's like it's kind of like a part of Slayer. It's like what makes them so unique, where it's just, hey, let's just pick every single note on the fretboard up here and hit them all,
Yeah, and do as many dive bombs as you. Yeah, exactly.
That's true. Well, False Flag, thank you for joining us from the Boner.
No worries. And I hope to talk to you soon.
Thanks for joining from the surface of the sun.
I'm boiling, seriously. Because it's been like really hot every day for like a month. It's like give me a break.
Dude, it's 16 degrees here in Simsbury, Connecticut, so I feel zero pity for you. So
well, 16 Fahrenheit, which is what Celsius?
I don't know, like negative 10.
I don't know. It's 48 here.
34 here.
Oh.
Anyway, Johnny, good to talk to you as well. And hope to talk to you all soon.
Yeah, thanks, False Flag. Thanks for stopping in. Look forward to hearing it, man.
Take care.
Yeah, thank you so much,
safe,
man. Thank you for all your support, dude.
See ya.
See ya, man.
Johnny, that was nice of you to set up, that pre-recorded video so nobody thinks that you're a False Flag.
I know. It looked like you guys were actually talking to each other. That was pretty good.
We timed it perfectly. You know how hard it was to play a couple riffs and time it so he talked at the exact same time? That was hard, man.
That's awesome. Well, we have it's that time, everyone. We're finishing the show, so thank you to the channel members for Johnny Beane TV. There's way too many to list, but thank you very much.
Thank you for all your support, everybody.
And I know we had like a few thousand people watching at one point, so make sure if you haven't hit the thumbs up yet, please do. If you haven't subscribed, you couldn't chat, so come on, join. What are you doing? Let's go.
That's true. You have to subscribe. If you want to chat, you have to subscribe. Keeps the weirdos out.
Brings them in too.
I'm weird. Doesn't keep me out.
No, but great show. Thank you, everyone, and look forward to seeing you guys, everyone, next month. And make sure you tune in on Friday to see these two handsome sons of bitches.
Yep.
Van Halen live.
Well, actually, we have a cool show Friday, don't we?
We might.
Okay, we might.
We might. So tune in Friday for what is now known as exclusively Van Halen.
Oh, shoot. All right.
Every Friday.
Exclusively.
Is it like
Friday?
Mostly exclusively? Like,
yes.
Okay.
Sherman Callahan. Thank you again, man. My lights just turned green.
Sherman, eventually you'll get your Gizmachi prize pack.
We got you, bud. I promise. I'll work on that tomorrow.
All right. I got to go pick up my hamburger. It's getting cold.
Go do it, man.
Pick it up where? Like in the kitchen or at the
like 10 minutes away. It was ready 10 minutes ago.
Well, you should have planned accordingly, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
All right. We're out of here. We'll see you Friday, everybody.
All right.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Awesome. All right, I got to split.
Bye.